they have.
Yes. That is very
right.
true. You got to remember that our four-legged friends impacted by the cold just like us. So yeah, definitely a chilly start to the day, and especially if you are up in elevation where those cold temperatures are where we like to see them. Keeping that snow in place, although earlier this afternoon I was able to pick up on a stray raindrop or two falling out towards the Mount Hood Meadows area, so less than ideal situation in that regard, as our snow elevation levels are slowly starting to shrink because of the lack of additional snow, and really overall for the high terrain, above average conditions finding their way back into the Cascades. But nonetheless, we are socked in with that cloud coverage. The low fog conditions also impacting many of us as we hover right around 40 degrees right now. I really think we'll stay on the dry side for the rest of this evening, but that cloud coverage, maybe a light mist, will start to push its way through our area as our temperatures fall back into the mid-30s. After daytime highs today, suffering. Low 40s for much of the Willamette Valley. 47 degrees is that average daytime high, which is what we managed to almost get to out along the coastline. So nonetheless, sitting below average for those highs, as our current visibility has fallen back to about a mile, 2 miles out towards Salem, and seeing some improvements along the coastline as that cloud coverage and the marine layer starts to dissipate. But that rain potential, it's slowly pushing its way through our area. Again, very lackluster, not expected to be widespread or impactful to our rain gauges, as we do hold on to that fog layer for much of the I-5 corridor as an air stagnation advisory remains in place. It was set to expire earlier this morning, reissued by the National Weather Service because of the lack of air movement we are seeing. So the poor air quality likely going to continue at least through the mid-morning hours tomorrow as the fog layer does the same. But we do have a dense fog advisory for parts of Lane County. So if you are traveling south along I-5, be sure to be using those low beams. As the kiddos head off to the bus stop tomorrow, it will be chilly. Temperatures falling close to the freezing mark as that patchy fog does remain. Mostly cloudy skies by the afternoon. I do anticipate a few breaks in the clouds as we get back up into the low 40s. So still sitting below average as our icicles continue to grow. Just look at Sunday morning. Expected to see a hard freeze as we fall back close to about 28 degrees. These could potentially be some of the coldest temperatures we have seen so far this winter season. All courtesy of ridge of high pressure that continues to build, and really us sitting on the fringe of this latest jet stream that continues to dive its way further to the south. A winter blast taking aim at much of the central regions of the country. Thankfully, we dodged that bullet as our friends out towards Bismarck, Duluth, Minnesota, almost 35 to 40 degrees below zero for the feel-like temperature. No thank you, as Dallas also falls back into the teens. So even the deep south getting in on this cold weather trend, as we do anticipate that fog layer to still remain through the I-5 corridor for the start of the day tomorrow, slowly breaking down by the afternoon and evening hours. Another round of fog for Saturday morning as we slowly mix that out as well, thanks to some of those easterly winds coming out the Columbia River Gorge, thus making it feel just a little bit colder here in our area. As far as additional rain accumulation goes, kind of lackluster in that department. But tonight, falling back to about 34 degrees as that fog layer intensifies. 44 is our expected high tomorrow with north winds at about 5 to 10. 7-day forecast. We keep it on the mostly dry side for the next 7 days. Something unusually seen here in the month of January. This is typically our third wettest month of the year. We are growing that rain deficit to almost 4/10 of an inch. So we would like to see the return of some wet weather as those cold temperatures do return. So I guess the timing of all of this is ideal. That way we are not talking about any winter precipitation.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we had any kind of rain with those temps, it'd be a different story.
It'd be a different story.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah, but not the case.
Okay, good. Thanks, Josh. Hey, Cameron.